if I planned it enough.
That's not the real thing. They don't work.
Okay, let's not get into that right now.
No, I mean, if we're going to waste time, let's just waste time.
Welcome to Now, Near, and the Future with Naila Mir and Quinn Harrington. A podcast that's part crystal ball, part microscope, and part rocket ship.
Welcome to Now, Near, and the Future. I'm Quinn Harrington, and coming to you from the first time ever, a proper recording studio here in London with my co-host, Naila Mir.
And thank you. And I'm Naila Mir.
Yes, we established that.
And we finally have Quinn here in London, and we've been talking about this forever, right?
We have.
And I'm so glad you're here.
Had to postpone the trip 3 times, but this time it's real.
And are you happy that you're not waking up at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, that is a nice change. I have to admit that to accommodate your time, I've got to always 10, 11, sometimes 9 in the morning. And that is just, it's not my best time of day. It's not where my highest energy level is. So I've got to kind of put on my DJ voice personality for that time of day.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
We'll switch it around a bit.
So today it's pretty much just us, except for our teams who help us produce this podcast. We've got Yannis and Naz, and over in the U.S. standing by, we have my Rachel, who edits our episodes.
Yes. And we're calling this Behind the Scenes.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time
Yes.
we're actually talking about how we got to this podcast.
That's right.
Yeah?
And I've got some interesting insights for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't told me about this one.
No, I haven't.
But we don't have Pepper with us today.
No, we don't. And Pepper's our producer. She's in Singapore right now, probably fast asleep or at a nightclub, one or the other. I'm not totally sure.
But as long as she's safe and sound,
yeah, she is
all
safe and
well.
sound. She just escaped Dubai and just before the conflict happened and escaped from Dubai to Singapore. And we're happy she made it out, and we're still enjoying her trip around the world.
I know. Am I jealous? Because I just went to Dubai, so I'm probably happy that I came back a month ago.
I mean, I could probably live without Dubai, but I would love to see Singapore.
I love Singapore. It is nice. It does rain a lot, though.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Well, apparently it rains a lot here, too.
That is true.
That's why I got my London fog jacket to be legit.
We usually say wherever we go in the world,
Yeah.
somehow the rain follows us.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
when you come to the States, it rains all the time in Florida, except this time of year. It's really dry.
so we'll have to do one more when I come there.
Yeah, we'll probably be in Miami. I think that'll be more fun for you.
I haven't been to Miami.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah,
It's very international, just like London, except a little bit more Latin. But we like to think of, Miami as it's almost like its own country.
My sister went once.
Yeah.
For 14 days.
Okay.
And she got the sun.
Yeah.
A lot of sun.
Yeah.
She didn't look like herself when she came back.
Yeah. We'll have to do the South Beach and the whole thing. So what I think would be fun is to talk a little bit about our origin story, how we decided to start this whole thing. And I found these screen grabs from LinkedIn. I'll pull these up here real quick. So here you'll see, well, we met here in London in 2013. And I was interviewing you for a Nielsen video. You were working at Unilever at the time, and you were in charge of sustainability or something like that. And so, I had the chance to either hire a local videographer or come to London. And so I was like, I'm going to London. So dragged all my stuff here, sat down with Naila for about 20 minutes, and flew back to Florida. And that was really it. But it was a great experience. Got to know each other a little bit, but didn't really talk probably again until the first time it says June 21st, 2016, congratulations on the promotion. Love the new haircut. I just did some video editing work for one of your Unilever colleagues. Cheers. And then you respond in June, and then that's it until July 18th of 2023.
No way.
Yeah. And so I reached out to a bunch of people on LinkedIn to try to drum up some business, and you were one of the ones that responded, and you invited me for coffee, which I thought was very sweet. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a problem.
I thought, hey, she took a video of me. She must be here.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm in Florida. But we had our first Zoom chat and decided we were going to partner together on some articles for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Wrote some articles. And then, I told you about, this dream of mine to always have a podcast. And so it was a very slow, rocky start. As having been a professional videographer for so many years, I thought it would just be like, oh, it's just like on screen, that's the only difference. Except the one of the first podcasts, we were trying to do this over Zoom, and which is not the platform to use for podcasting.
That was great.
I forgot to hit record.
I know, and it was such a good podcast.
It was such a good episode. It was one of Naila's colleagues.
Yeah.
And I was just horribly embarrassed. And then at that point, I put, finger on the pause button. I was like, Naila, we need to rethink this. We need the technology. We can't just wing this. Otherwise we're just going to embarrass ourselves, or me embarrassing you in that situation.
I mean, I didn't know anything about it, and I was just happy. I don't like cameras.
Yeah.
And I don't stick to script. So I was happy that I've always wanted to do a podcast, right? And it was all about having great conversation. So I said yes. And our guest never came back,
Yeah, he never did. He said he was going to, and then he never did. So, yeah, I'm Brits. They are incredibly gracious and kind, but he's like, those two are idiots.
Maybe I need to chase him a bit more.
No. We've got a line of people waiting to be on. We're here in season 2, obviously. We've worked out, I would say 95% of the kinks, and now we're just focusing on having really great guests and interviews.
True.
And exciting.
Yeah.
What's your recollection of how this all came about?
I mean, I know the whole relationship started when you came back to me. And obviously you got me at the video. Like, hey, I took a video of you, because I had to remember this is like 13 years back.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Right? And I don't know Quinn, and we didn't have such a conversation that I would remember.
Right.
And then when you got back, I said, okay, this person knows me, took a video. I always say yes and talk to someone on LinkedIn if someone reach out, because I might be able to help, right? So we had that conversation. And I'm all about collaborating and connecting on things that are meaningful. And this was just perfect match, I think.
Yeah.
We had a chemistry.
We did.
Right? And that's what made it work for me.
Yeah, and that's what I love, because if you're not friends with your co-host, if you don't have something beyond that, then it can feel like a news program. It can feel kind of stale.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in a lot of ways we both kind of come out of our shell a little bit, because I've always been behind the camera for many years. Even though I was a professional DJ for a long time, I'm still standing behind a booth, and I'm still sort of like separated. But, when you're doing a video podcast, it's like you are right there, and it's like, what do I do? Like, do I look at the camera? Do I not look at the camera? And so, we had some really some good guests who have helped us out along the way.
True. And Quinn, you're always teaching me, right? Naila, you need to get this camera, this video. I'm still setting up. We're not there yet.
Yeah, well, when I come over for dinner tomorrow, we're going to sort all that out.
No. Oh, no, I have to clean up properly.
Oh, yeah, I think if you look just outside of the frame, not on this episode, but on a previous one, you would see like piles of like papers and probably like, Isa's, clothes and shoes and, Cheerios all over the floor. Am I right?
Part.
Yeah.
No, so we're in the conservatory,
okay.
Right? So it's an outside space. It has blinds, so you can't see what's outside neighbors. But I do have a colored blanket all over my papers.
Okay.
I'm telling my secrets here.
Well.
Yeah. I better hide that stuff before you come
behind
tomorrow.
behind the scenes for a reason, not like hide the scene.
You don't know what's underneath the camera slide.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I think maybe we should move into the now section. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
Now,
We are now joined by Yannis and
Rachel. Okay. It's good to have you, Yannis and Rachel, on Behind the Scenes. And for Yannis, first time on our podcast.
Yes, finally, you have me saying it for, I don't know, over a year that I need to get on a podcast and sit with you both.
Exactly.
Just talk.
hey, we're just happy you watch it.
I know.
Or does she?
She does.
Tell the truth now. Have
You
you
watched
watched
the
it? You have
podcast?
not
I
watched
watched it.
You've watched every episode?
Gotta
Of
be
course
honest,
not. Of
not
course
every one
not.
of it. But some of it. Most of it I watch those before I do a post and
Yeah.
before I...
Yeah,
Thank God it's not part of your job description.
I know.
That could be
know.
weird.
No, I rely on Yannis for certain things, you
Yes,
know. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. We're going to build up the numbers of our podcast. Let's watch it out between ourselves again and again.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, just from different devices.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about this, right? We've
Yeah.
got you as guests on our podcast, right?
Right?
But let's talk about how we find our guests, because it's one of those things that sounds simple, and it's about like we think, oh, we're going to ask someone and they're just going to say yes. It's not that simple, right? So Quinn, sometimes they will. Do you want to go into it?
Sure.
Right. So do you want to tell me a bit about how you find your guests, and then maybe, you know, Yannis and Rachel can jump in because they support us in doing that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So season 1 was pretty easy. We had 10 episodes, and basically between the two of us, we just asked, you know, our close colleagues. We didn't want to start bringing in people that we didn't really know that well because we felt like we needed some practice. So it's just like as simple as like an email. But going into season 2, we've kind of like run out of like the low-hanging fruit and are also looking for guests that have a broader audience and topics that are different than what we did in first season. You know, things like lifestyle, mental health, you know, not fashion, right, Naz? Not fashion. And other topics. We're about halfway through. I think we've got 6 episodes in the can so far, and we'll probably have at least 12. So it's getting a little bit harder. Fortunately, Pepper has like this huge list of people that she knows, and has really helped us to broaden our audience, bringing in people that we don't know, and that topics that wouldn't necessarily, you know, be the first on our list. But, you know, those 2 episodes with Kim Minch and Jill Thompson were like 2 of the best we've done.
Yeah.
They were amazing. So I'm excited to see what else we have coming up for the second half of season 2.
And I was telling Yannis, because when it comes to guests, we do a bit of brainstorming. And so far, we've had a lot of guests from the US. And I was telling Quinn that we really want, you know, we need to build the UK guest list.
We need to.
You've done some searching for me. How have you found it so far? You found it difficult, easy? Tell me your experience.
Right. So for now, I took like a similar approach from where you guys start. Just look through your current contact list, going through for like potential people that we can reach out to. But what I find challenging is that not everyone will have the interest in like speaking in front of camera. You have to think a way of pitching them, how to persuade them to like go on camera, step out of their comfort zone, or even dig out like something interesting about them that we can speak or talk about in the podcast. But I know, like we said, we need to expand the list, go a bit further to people that we don't know.
Have
like,
some coffees.
Some coffee. That's what we need to do.
Right? And what about Rachel? Does she do the outreach, or she's basically behind the scenes helping us on social media? She does the editing as well of ours?
Yeah, she's a little bit more on Rachel, you're a little bit more on the back end, but I mean, you've definitely been involved in conversations with Pepper and myself about, you know, the strategy of not just booking guests, but like what order should the show be in? And so we think
based on like the topic of what people are talking about, how that's gonna flow.
Yeah, we kind of like there to be like some kind of we like the order to be intentional. So like when we put Jill and Kim together, because those were very like similar types of conversations, and then we've got Kenny from Nielsen IQ, and then Brett coming up next, and then
some more like marketing business type topics together too.
Nice. So Rachel, you've been obviously watching all the episodes. Have you got a favorite guest that we've had so far, a favorite episode that you can think of?
I think overall from season 1, Elena was just such a good episode. I just edited Kenny's episode, and you guys, we've been talking about Elena's episode, and it's just being so funny, and she's just a great conversationalist, and she has so much interesting stuff to say about her line of work and just everything adjacent to that. But from this season, I want to say, I think Kim and Jill were just both so emotionally, this emotionally driven narrative that they were kind of going over in their episodes, and they're both just so sweet, and they're so nice, and they love the work that they do, and they're very passionate, and it was very obvious from their conversations with you guys just how much they care about what they're doing and how it's impacting the people around them and how much they want to make a difference too. And I feel so invested in their stories now that I've watched it over once or twice, and am seeing just how much they care, I guess.
Yeah, those are the ones I think that made us nearly cry.
Yeah.
In some of those.
Yeah.
I keep saying after every podcast, hey, I'm going to join this, I'm going to do this. I need to get back to what I said.
To follow up on all those commitments you made. Yes, I'm going to buy your book. Yes, I'm going to.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Yannis? Yeah. Anything, not the guests, but any topics that you found really interesting so far?
It's actually the one from season 1 where we talk about AI. Is it Brett that come to? It's really
the filmmaker?
The filmmaker one, where he showed all the design that he created with AI and stuff. Just fascinating.
I know, and that was that was a year ago.
Yeah, it's a year
that
ago.
technology today, like we were talking about, like someday in the future we're going to be able to, do these kinds of videos. Well, that someday is now.
It's already happening.
Is now. So
oh my God. We're going to talk about the future of podcasts.
Yes.
In our future episode as well.
All right. Well, then I won't jump ahead.
I know, because I wanted to get their opinions, because both of them are from the, what do we say? You're younger than me, but your take on podcasts may be different to how we think about podcasts. So should we ask this now or later?
No, let's go ahead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Should I go first?
Yeah.
Right. So let's be honest, I'm never a podcast girl, or I've never listened to podcasts before we start this. But listening, just interesting, and how much you can do or listen to when you're on the road. And it's never, I need to just get into the habit of doing more and listen more. But I feel like if I am scrolling through on social media or TikTok thing, and I see a clip that is interesting, I would definitely go on the website and look for it and just do more research. Just go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was not really I didn't listen to a lot of podcasts before we launched ours either.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just something clicked in my head, and I'm like, oh, I'm starting to understand this format and how it works, and how everyone has different styles.
Yeah.
What about you, Rachel?
I have dabbled in podcasts here and there. I used to listen to a lot of them at the beginning of my college experience. I think when I was doing a lot of driving and just had a lot more time where I was doing kind of more mind-numbing work, I guess. It's more of a background thing. Now I'm way more intentional about this type of stuff that I listen to, and it's definitely picked up also now that season 2 is picked up as well, that I'm editing and I'm listening to all of these people share their expertise in whatever way that is, or just talk about something that they're passionate about. It's just really inspiring to me. So that's kind of shaped what I listen to. But I would agree with Yannis. It's like I'm scrolling on social media, I see a clip of something that is really interesting. I'm very likely to go follow their links to their page. Usually it's a YouTube video that I seek out to watch.
Okay.
So is kind of the other end of that.
Well, glad that you're helping us make these clips then, because you're going to make it for the right audiences.
Need to be interesting, yeah.
And I am glad that I don't have to do it anymore.
I know.
So when I watch it, I always watch it right before, I push it up to Buzzsprout and YouTube and the website. And so I get to like watch it like cleanly.
Yeah.
I'm not like editing, I'm just watching it and I'm just like, wow, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I surprised myself. I was like, this doesn't suck as bad as I thought it was going to.
No, I seriously, and when I'm on socials and I'm like looking at the clips that Rachel has put together and you posted
really
out,
nice, yeah.
I'm smiling. I'm like, wow, that looks pretty good. And it's the right clip. It's engaging.
Yep.
Sometimes it's funny.
Yes.
Well, most of the time we're funny, right?
Yeah, most of the time it's funny because we're goofballs.
All right, let's talk about prep. So, Quinn, you want to lead this one, but you're the one who does most of the prep.
Yeah. So once you have a guest confirmed, there's a whole world of prep that happens. We have to do research on our guests, and then we have to create what are called episode guides, our show flow. And so those include the topics, what we're going to do for across the pond. Are we going to include any additional media to, support the interview? And so then we create that episode guide. We share that with the guest, and that gives the guest the topics, but not necessarily the questions. I've always been a big believer that when you send someone interview questions in advance, there are two types of people. One that's not going to read, and the other one's going to over-prepare.
Yeah.
And so I would almost rather you not read it and just come in and just kind of speak from the heart, speak from the gut. But, having the topics gives you an idea of what we're going to talk about, so you're not like filled with anxiety, like, is this going to be a gotcha interview?
Yeah, throw me off board.
Right,
kind of
that kind of thing. But then we generate interview questions. We decide who's going to lead each segment. At one point, we were like, Naila and I were like, alternating back and forth between questions, but we were having such a hard time just getting through one segment that I was like, you know what, Naila, you take this segment, I'll take the next one.
We still do it though.
Yeah, we always cut each other off and interrupt each other because...
I remember when we started off and I would say, is it okay for me to interrupt you? And you're like, yeah, it's fine if we're, talking over or something.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have like three people all trying to talk at once, because then from an audio point of view, it gets hard for the listener. But I just think in terms of interaction, it should feel more like, two friends at happy hour than...
Exactly. And that's why we started, to have a conversation, not a scripted, like a script. But maybe for those people who are new and listening in, a bit about the structure of our podcast, because we've got some fun elements, and it's really revolved around the now, near, and the future,
right?
Which is what we are all about. Should we talk a bit about that? So what are the segments?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is actually, I know we're going back to our origin story a little bit, but I was down when I was trying to figure out a name for this podcast. We were coming up with different ideas. I had done this talk down at Flagler College in Florida, and the topic was AI now, near, and the future. And gave the talk, and the talk was over. And one of our earlier guests, the topic was going to be around AI.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, well, why don't we just call this one AI now, near, in the future? It's already a good name. And then I thought, I was like, well, what if it was communications now, near, in the future? Or what if it was cooking now, near, in the future? It could really be anything. And so we like the idea of being part microscope, part rocket ship, and part crystal ball.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, nownearfuture.com, now, near, and thefuture.com were available. And that handle, Now Near Future, was available on every single social platform. And I'm like sitting here scratching my head. I'm like, Naila,
This is it.
how has somebody not already thought of this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's kind of a novel idea, but it's not like the most out there thing. And so that's how that all came about.
All
the
credit
name.
to Quinn, because that comes from like shows your marketing, right? This is
Well,
not what I
you know,
come up
I'm
with.
branding, your comms.
Yeah,
so-
exactly.
But you asked a different question. What was the question?
About the structure. So how do we structure the episodes, right?
Okay, yeah,
So that
so-
those who don't know can learn a bit.
So the now section is pretty obvious. We pick a topic and we talk about the state of things. And sometimes we'll use that segment also to help people understand if we already have a relationship with the guest, you know, like how we met, that kind of thing. And then we go into the near section, or is it around the room? Which one?
Around the
Yeah,
room.
we do now, and then we go around the room, which is a segment that I stole from a radio show program up in New York. You know, they just basically, there's like 8 people. They have three hosts, and then like a producer, engineer, all these different people, call screener. And so they just basically go around the room and either talk about what they did this weekend or something they watched or something that, you know, touched and moved them. And I thought was like, that kind of breaks it up a little bit. So it's not all just like, you know, business, AI, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
so then we go into the near section, which is
5
2
years.
to 5 years, you know, asking people to do some prediction about where they think things are going to be for a particular topic or whatever it is. Then we go across the pond.
Which is about, because you're in America, I'm in the UK.
Yes.
And it's about that cultural
Right, the difference.
Yeah,
And I was just like, I have so many questions for Naila, like,
It's
you know,
funny.
why do you call the bathroom a loo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You know.
remember that
Why'd you
one.
call a cookie a biscuit?
Yeah. And sometimes it'll, you know, be a little more serious. You know, our producer, our AI producer, not Pepper, is always like trying to make it serious, and I was just like, no, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
I wrote one script.
Yeah,
and then
you
I gave
did.
it back to you, and then you came back with something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I said, you know what, Quinn, let's just go with our expertise here, right? Whoever's best at what, do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, then we move into the future.
Future.
Which is the crystal ball. So we're
Yes.
talking anywhere between 10 and 25 years from now.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
think it's always fascinating because we have some really, really smart guests that come on and they tell us things that just are kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know, like what was it? Kenny was talking about the agents, the AI agents
my
that are
God.
going to shop for us. And
Oh my God.
know,
and then
yeah.
you could have a CFO and a marketing person who acts like a marketing
right,
person.
like
They
you're
can
going
talk
to have
to
a
each
full
other.
AI board.
Yeah.
You know, board of directors. So
We would chat about
do
that.
that, yeah.
But I have a question for Yannis. You've watched these podcasts. Do you have a favorite segment that you enjoy most?
I would say it's the crystal ball bit.
Okay.
So I'm always interested in like what different people from different sectors think about the future, what it would look like. It's just interesting to hear it.
And Rachel, if we had to do a podcast, would you introduce something else? Do you think we should introduce something else into our podcast?
do we need any new segments or do we need to change anything up?
No, I don't think so. I think this is like the perfect balance of interviewing someone, getting them to talk about their specialty, having these kind of spontaneous moments. Like I was going to say, around the room is my favorite part of watching and editing because I have absolutely no idea what is going to come out of anyone's mouths or what the topic is. So it's very engaging, I would say, this broken up segment situation.
Awesome. Well, you
Quinn
know,
sitting here saying, great answer.
yes, great answer. I wouldn't change a thing. Very good.
Excellent. Thank you for being here, Rachel and Yannis.
No worries.
So when we complete the recording of an episode, that is really just the beginning. So we use a platform called Riverside.fm, and that platform can record probably up to like a dozen or more guests at one time. We've never had more than 3 or 4. But once that takes place, it saves all the high-res video up into Riverside's cloud. So then we go into the Riverside interface, and the first thing we have to do is what's called audio sweetening, because everyone's setup is a little bit different. Like I have a pro setup. Naila is like semi-pro, and our guests sometimes are like on a crappy laptop. You know, no microphone. They sound like they're, you know, in their closet. Yeah, it's just echoey. So we have to fix the audio first, and then we fix that audio, and then we go in and use some of the tools to take out some of the ums and the ahs and the awkward moments, and like when someone slams the door in the middle of our
take 2.
some slams the door in the middle of. Quiet on the set, people.
Or my daughter is behind the curtain
yeah.
saying, "Mommy, mommy."
Yeah. There's one episode, we were going a little bit long, and we can hear Isa just screaming, Naila's daughter, Isa, just screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, guys, we got to wrap this. So now to the wrap, nownearfuture.com, and talk to you next week.
Has she come on the episode yet? She did come on one, did she?
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
But I never knew when it came to recording how much is involved.
Right.
I've been learning from what you said. First, we had to choose the platform that was right for us. Then you had to tell me about light, cameras, background, mics. And then all of that is then prepping. Right. So I have to read the scripts. We want it to be natural, right? So we've always said it has to be a conversation, but we need to know what points we're landing. But now, lucky, we've got Pepper in the studio. So she tells us, hey, move on.
Right.
Move on, don't move on. And don't forget the makeup.
Yes.
Looking
of course, we got to prep
good.
ourselves, too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's required prep. So it's not as if you have to prep half an hour before. I have to block out at least 2 hours in my diary.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just before to get it done.
Yeah, because, you know, you got to get ready for camera.
Also, poor you.
What?
Because if it's 10 o'clock, so you have to start prepping at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
While I'm finishing my day.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a labor of love. So getting back to post, so it's still up in Riverside. We've done all of the audio tuning and cut out a lot of the basic sort of junk that's in there. Then we download that into Adobe Premiere, which is the software we use to edit the program. We already have animations and graphics that we've created prior to episode 1. I had my animator create this really cool animated opener. Elena Wiss is a voice actor out of Chicago. She did the intro voiceover for us. Makes it sound like we're on Saturday Night Live.
It's true.
And then so essentially we've got to go through and add the intro, and then that's when we really start the edit. So there's a couple of setups. So we can frame things like 3-up in a scene, like a news program, or it could be 2-up if it's just, you know, 2 people that are talking generally, or it can be just a single full frame of the guest or whoever's, you know, prominently speaking. And then we have to add things like lower thirds, which include like the name and title, website addresses, things of that nature. It takes about 3 or 4 hours to edit one episode. And I probably have done 10 episodes myself, and Rachel, she has taken over editing, and she's just done such a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So
are we ever going to get to a point where we're not going to edit some episodes?
Well, we always have to add those graphics in between, because our podcast is is a video podcast, and if you've never watched us on YouTube, you should really watch us at least one time. I pretty much listen to them because I already know what they look like. I've already seen them like, at least once. But you should watch us on YouTube. It's fun. I think we have pretty decent production values.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see like little clips and stuff we'll drop in that'll add a little funny moments that you don't get to see when you're just listening.
Yeah. Do you get nervous in recording when we're recording a podcast?
I was kind of nervous about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was making you nervous?
I don't know, just different environment, trying to figure out like, are we going to be able to bring in Rachel from the US? I don't know. I was a little bit anxious about it. So I'm not anymore though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We worked it out.
Yes.
Yeah. And the art of editing. Hey, the future AI, all of that will work soon.
I mean, actually, there are AI tools that will edit the whole thing for you. But the problem is it just right now, we're control freaks. And so just turning all that over and allowing that to be, done without being able to, put our own personal touch on it. We're just not quite ready for that yet.
Yeah. I mean, you do all the editing, and obviously I trust the editing, right? Because I'm always worried, did I say something wrong? Was it all muffled? Did I make any sense? And then you always come back and reassure me, of course. And then when you watch it back, it's like, actually, you've done a good job in editing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing of it is like, when you're editing, it's almost like, it's not really like a documentary per se, but you're getting information. We have a script, but it's not scripted. And so you never really know what you're going to get. And so the idea is that you're trying to help the guest communicate their message in the most effective way, because we want our guests to shine.
Yeah.
We want them to make them feel like they're $1 million on this program.
Yeah.
And that the finished product is something that they're very proud of.
Yeah.
So some guests kind of tend to run on, they kind of ramble a little bit. And other guests are super succinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of catering the edit to their style, I think takes a little bit of doing.
It does.
And then so once we have the episode in the can, we push the audio up to Buzzsprout, which is our distribution platform for all the audio. And then YouTube goes up to YouTube because that's video. And then it goes up on the website. And then we have a whole, between Yannis and Rachel, we have a whole post-production schedule, pre-production and post-production promotion, I should say, of clips going out, creating the promotion clips, go out several times a week. We're always announcing who the new guest is going to be coming up because we release every 2 weeks on Tuesday at noon Florida time. Will be 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 5 p.m. UK time.
Yeah, 5 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
So,
and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we have to put up on LinkedIn too. So.
Oh yeah, I do most of the posting, reposting on the LinkedIn stuff as well.
We use a tool called Metricool. It's like METRICOOL, and that's the tool that we use for social media management. And so it allows you to schedule posts well in advance. It allows you to look at analytics, across all of your different platforms to find out how are things going. Who's listening, from where, when, all that. Yeah. And so, those are some really critical tools. I mean, you don't necessarily need that if you're just starting a podcast, but you sort of reach a certain point where it's like efficiency becomes very important. Like our first couple of episodes, I think it probably took me like a whole day to do all of it. I mean, that's a significant amount of time. To take a full day out.
Yeah, especially when we got business to run.
Yeah, we got a businesses to run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that hopefully is insightful for our viewers.
It was for me.
Was for me. If anyone didn't know our end-to-end process, now you do. I should know these things, right? I do. But where does that take us now?
Around the room.
Around the room. And we've got
Yes.
another guest coming on.
We do.
Around the room.
Okay, so before we look at where this goes from here, it's time for Around the Room. Same question for everyone, and I want honesty, not public relations still. So,
Okay.
what's the one thing about making this podcast that nobody warned you about?
How much goes into it, the prep of it.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as turning the camera on, turning a mic on, or just being on your laptop. Because I thought it was like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the prep. Everything else, I think, because it was natural conversation, that was okay. And the scripting.
Yeah.
How much time goes into all of this to come up with one podcast? So yeah, that was the one thing.
The one thing for me was what happens outside of the content creation. You like the universe around the podcast, and how do we
promote it and push it out there.
Right. Like, I mean, there's a lot of, relative to like being like a social media influencer or like a YouTuber, podcasting is still a relatively small market. So you do have a chance to break out, but it's like, we are kind of late to the game. We probably should have did this like 5 years ago. But here we are. And so trying to determine, how do we reach people that are outside of our network?
Yes.
And that's the challenge and what I've been trying to wrap my head around for like the, last few months.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because everybody looks to me as the marketing person. They're like, you do this, Quinn. I'm like, no.
You should know this, which is what I'm going to ask you now.
But I think it's that classic thing with anything in marketing or public relations. You can have a winning piece of content that you think's amazing, and that I might listen to one of your podcasts and that's amazing. Everybody's going to listen to it. They're going to get thousands of viewers. This is going to be a thing that launches them. But it's cracking that. That's like the holy grail of marketing, isn't it? Everybody wants to kind of go viral or get their name out there, get the exposure.
Have that breakout moment.
But yeah, what is it? And I think that's incredibly hard still. And it's, you might have these wonderful conversations and it's flowing and it's lovely. And between you and your sort of immediate audience, it's great. But how do you break those boundaries and go beyond?
Yeah.
And that's tough.
And what about as a guest? You've been on this podcast as a guest.
I have. I'm very happy to be back again. Shout out to Fifi Ware wearing my jumper. I think it's...
Edit that out.
Replay the last episode.
I'm sorry. I had to. I need to get the exposure.
Shameless self-promotion.
I think as a guest, it's the same kind of thing. I mean, what I like is that it's informal and it's natural, and so you can just come on and you're not there wanting to see what the numbers are on the viewers. It's just that you want to have a conversation and make a connection, and that's why I love working with Naila and Yannis and Quinn. We all get on, we have the same values, so it's natural, and so it doesn't feel forced, so it doesn't feel like work, and that's super nice. I think the bonus is if then you get the numbers and you get the viewers. That's just like that's great. That's an added bonus.
And you're a social media expert and you're a storyteller. Is there anything else we could do, we should bring in?
I mean, I think it goes back to one of the things you said earlier, Quinn. I think you need to pull on your networks. I think that you need to reach out to other people, to influencers, sort of piggyback on the exposure that other people have. It takes time and effort to build, this better than anyone, a brand, and to build, audiences. It doesn't happen overnight. So, how can you utilize a network that you have already? I think that's key. It's kind of bringing in those different voices, those people that that have that sort of amplification already to get the story out there. That's what I think of whenever I think about storytelling in a piece. It's how can we amplify it to a wider audience?
Talk more about it too. I started to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting
and
much
every
better
time-
this year already on LinkedIn.
I gave them my cards.
Oh, good.
She did. Oh, we're here with the cards.
Yay.
And I went on with my clients. So I do talk about podcast on the client so that they say, oh, yeah, you should share that with them. And then I share them, with it. Maybe they can come future guests.
I mean, we've had quite a few of my clients have appeared, and I just think it's just a great opportunity for them to get great content for their own personal brand or their company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's pretty well produced, and
It's
you're
extremely
essentially
well
getting that-
produced.
thanks.
Extremely well
Thank you.
produced.
To Quinn and the team. And are we doing around the room or across the pond?
No, we're doing around the room.
Okay.
So we talked a little bit about us. well, actually, what did I want to talk about? So my first 3 days in London, well, first it takes a full day to get here.
Yeah.
And so spending, it wasn't 24 hours on a plane, but there was like a 6-hour layover.
Door to door, it ends up almost being 24 hours.
It's a whole day. So the next day is just like downtime.
Yeah.
And then came out of the hotel, I guess, in the evening, and like it's like perfect golden hour.
Yeah.
And the light, there's like a little bit of haze in the air, and the light streaming down, and I'm seeing these beautiful buildings and statues, and I was like, man, look at all these fucking awesome. I was like, this is yeah, I was just like snapping,
Perfect place to be there.
Yeah, snapping pictures left and right. So, and then we're going to also do more photo shoot stuff later.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. Naila and I had a great dinner last night.
Fish and chips.
Oh, my favorite.
Fish and chips
Had
and
the
shepherd's pie.
And shepherd's pie, the proper British.
Oh, the best of the
it was-
British.
We kind of
All my
ordered too much.
favourites.
We
Oh
ordered
my
the
God.
starters as well.
Yeah, we ordered way too much food.
Oh, I should have flown in yesterday.
It was
Yeah,
so good.
really.
Oh, no.
But with the fish and chips, there's this
mushy peas.
this stuff called mushy peas.
Yeah, you've got to have the mushy peas.
She didn't like it.
Oh, Quinn. Yeah, you're definitely not a Brit. I love mushy peas. It's the tartar sauce I'm not 100% about.
No, I love the tartar
know.
sauce.
My last name is Harrington. Okay, and you telling me I'm not British? Okay,
Sounds like
You're ashamed of
Downtown
your
Abbey.
ancestors.
like every it's like everything. Every street ends in like so many INGTON.
That's true.
That Brighton, Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm claiming it. But yeah, you can keep your mushy peas, or we'll feed them to Isa, Naila's baby.
She will spit it out. Yeah.
Well, tells you a lot right there, doesn't it?
I kind of, my sister loves it.
I really like them.
Yeah, she loves
I really
it.
like them.
And then we had this, the truffle thing.
I'm sure it's acquired taste.
Oh, I love
It is.
truffles.
She, again, discovered that no more truffles for us. It's too overpowering.
I'm done with truffles.
Oh, no. Truffles are the
so
best. I have a friend who
strong.
goes out truffle hunting and will make meals and things. I mean, it's a skill because it can go incredibly wrong and you pick the wrong mushroom. But they're amazing.
It's too strong.
Oh, no.
From a person who doesn't like
I know, sorry, meat.
And strong fish. And
this is true.
I took one bite of this thing and I was like, this is disgusting.
I ended up eating half of it all.
I have a very unsophisticated palate, but I love truffles.
Oh my God.
That's my only claim.
Should have been there,
They
Dave.
ruined the arancini. That's all I got to say. So, Naz, what's going on with you?
Oh my goodness. So
How's your clothing brand? How's your life?
balancing work, life, children, as we all are, and excited to love working with these guys and all of you, and love just being here. It's really nice to come over from Portugal. I've met people that Yannis, who I've worked with for years and never met. That's incredible. Always lovely to see Naila and Quinn. First time meeting you. It's fantastic. Looking forward to our dinner. And Fifi is going well. We've got some sales, which is fantastic news.
Wow, you sold
yes,
something.
we've sold some items.
That's a good thing.
It is. It's exciting. And I think, what we're realising, going back to what we were saying before about building a brand, it's tough. It's not going to happen overnight. But we've sort of started to pivot some of our kind of strategy. And, we're reaching out to influencers, people that have actually expressed an interest in the clothes, and interestingly, people we wouldn't have naturally have thought. So we were kind of going, we're going to reach out to people in the sustainable world because they're going to really get this. This is a sustainable brand that's really resonates with those people's values. But we've had interest from gamers. So people sitting around, they want comfy, high quality clothing while they're gaming and lounging, and they've loved the brand. We've had people from lots of different kind of backgrounds just saying, actually, this fits well, it looks good, we like it, we like the story of where you're coming from, the fact that you started this, as a not as something because you want to make loads of money, but you actually care, you want to make a difference. You saw that your kids were wearing clothes, hand-me-downs that were working well, and you thought, what can we do? And so our story's been really working, which is really nice. People actually going, okay, this is personal. And And then when people get it and they see the quality, they're like, oh, right, yeah, okay, this is actually really well priced. So I'm hopeful. You know, there's a lot of work to be done still, but we're there doing the work, putting the time in, disrupting, you know, trying to get controversial and looking, you know, I'm learning a lot about sustainable kind of clothing and this whole world. And there's people out there, brands that have been doing this for a long time. Actually, when you sort of delve into it all, they've got like 80-90% plastic in their clothes. We're cotton, you know, we've got cotton, we're recycling and sustainable in every aspect. So from the clothes, the fact that it's 100% cotton, the supply chain, the fact that, you know, it's in Portugal, we don't go across, you know, continents shipping and then it's in the UK and we ship straight there, all the way down to sort of the story that we tell. So I think, you know, I'm hopeful, which is nice, which in today's world often feels like a difficult emotion to be in. So yeah, I think we'll keep doing what we're doing and hope that more people like our story.
Yeah, and follow your passion, follow your purpose.
I think so.
You'll eventually get somewhere with it. Right? That's what I've always done, right? Even this podcast, I followed what I think I would love doing.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying it.
We
and
are.
We're learning.
Yeah.
We have hope to grow as well.
Indeed.
Yeah. I think you've got to love what you do.
Yeah.
If you don't really enjoy this format, if you don't really enjoy, you know, the podcast universe, and you're just looking at it as a way to, you know, push content out or try to get famous or whatever, it's not going to last very long because you're going to find yourself burnt out by this point, you know. And so
Organic.
For me, if it takes off, it doesn't take off.
We did
I
it.
kind of almost don't care,
Yeah.
you know.
We got great
That's the best.
brands.
I'm just doing it for us. And, you
But
know,
also I think the audience can tell, right? It's like people can tell if it's fake or if it's authentic, or if the people that are having the conversations are enjoying it. So I think that's really important.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to Joe Rogan level.
I don't know if I want to be that famous, because then you're like, you know, then people start coming after you.
Yeah.
I don't mind in another 10, 15 years if my business is growing.
Yeah.
Because I've always said I want to have a small business, but I wouldn't mind then going around and
totally.
being an influencer.
Spreading your voice.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk a little bit about season 2 ambitions.
Near.
What's next? Season 2, we're in now. And Naila, when we planned this season, what were the things that we said we wanted to do differently?
What we want to do differently.
Yeah, well, back when we were in between seasons.
Yeah, we were thinking about themes, guests, structure. You move the structure around.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What I like is when you said, okay, you know what? We're not going to go in and introduce the guests first. We're going to have the conversation first. Obviously,
Right, we're just going to dive right in.
Nice.
You know, and then we'll...
Let them wonder.
Yeah, well, I feel like either the guests can sustain themselves.
Yeah.
Or if they can't, we'll give them a lifeline. But most of our guests, you know, they're a lot of times have more experience in this format than we do. So I'm not going to like bore the audience with a 5-minute bio.
Yeah.
It just
They might turn off straight
It bugs
away.
the heck out of me. You know, when they do that, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we going to actually talk about? Like,
Yeah, totally. Just
connect
get
me
it.
into this and, you know, tell me more about who this person is later, or I should be able to divine who they are after a few minutes anyways. So I think that was a good thing, bringing in more of the human interest type and varying our topics.
Yeah, not just communication, the marketing. AI is always going to be somewhere coming up because it relates to everything.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily the crux of every conversation. Doesn't have to fall back to that. I think there's so many other aspects and angles.
And we bring guests back.
That's lovely.
We
Yeah,
do.
I'd love to be a reappearing guest.
Follow your journey.
Across the pond.
Something I genuinely think about, the podcast landscape feels different on each side of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Do you think UK audiences, Naila, consume podcasts differently than American ones?
That's a good question, actually. And this is why I was asking Yannis how she consumed it being in the UK. I don't know, because I can talk from experience, like people in my network, for example, like in England, you're always commuting, not even driving. You're on the train all the time. So you're listening to podcasts. A lot of professionals are listening to podcasts, especially the sustainability, health, well-being, mental health, all of that. I know my other friend who drives used to listen to it a lot. I think it's got to do with the community and the time. Isn't that the same in America, though?
Well, I think the difference is that, Americans, we want to be told what to do. And so, like, give me 5 steps and the framework and the takeaway. Like, don't make me think.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if that's the same here.
No, I think it's totally different here.
Yeah.
From conversations I've had with people that have lived in both places, or even like through education, like I think a lot of in the UK, it's about sort of critical thinking and take some information and go off and make your own view from it. And I feel like a lot of the people I know that listen to podcasts, that's what they're taking from it. It's, I want to hear somebody else's view, and how's that going to resonate with me, and how does that fit into my life? Whereas, I actually agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know a lot of my American friends might just be like, actually, I just tell me.
Yeah,
give me the process and the steps, and how can I do this?
Yes.
So I think it's very different.
Well, we'll have to figure out how to, adapt, or, maybe we're already doing that. I don't know, but I feel like it's a very good insight.
It would be really interesting to see the content in terms of like statistics. What are the most downloaded podcasts in the UK versus the US, for example.
Well, we can certainly pull those stats.
Yeah, that would be super interesting.
Help us, Yannis and Rachel. Yeah, let's do a comparison. Also, what be interested is guests, right?
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of American guests versus if we bring on more UK, is there a difference?
Yeah.
In the audience.
Even things like humour are so different. No, people talk a lot about the UK sort of humour might it be very, very self-deprecating. So the kind of conversations you have can be quite different in that way. Whereas, in Americans are very positive and upbeat very often. So it takes a different tone in that way, I think.
I see. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty self-deprecating. But
you are actually, yeah, that's true. That's the Harrington in you see.
It is. All right, fair point. Nah, I've been corrected.
You'll be eating mushy peas before you know it.
I shouldn't even have tried.
Serious.
All right, future.
The future.
Now it's time for the future segment. I should have brought my crystal ball in person, which I didn't.
My goodness, what have we got
but we
around
do
the
this
room?
on every episode.
You actually have one?
No.
Oh.
I said I should have.
No,
or
but
could
you have one at
Which
home?
sounded like you have
Well, I
one.
would have bought one
Oh.
off Amazon. If I planned it enough.
That's not the real thing. They don't work.
Okay, let's not get into that right now.
No, if we're going to waste time, let's just waste time.
So if we ever do a new podcast in person, I'm going to in fact, I'll get someone who has a crystal ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
We'll do a
that
mystic
could be your
one.
next guest.
A fortune teller.
teller.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. But we do have this episode in every episode, this segment. I love it because it's about the future, and we all wonder about the future. It could be wrong what we're thinking. We will see. Or it could be right.
Yeah.
What people are saying.
I mean, it's pretty liberating, to just take a guess and either you'll have egg on your face or not.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to care when I'm like 65, 75 if
What do
my
you say?
predictions were incorrect.
Yeah, so it's our crystal ball.
Yes.
It may
And our
not-
guest crystal ball, too.
Yeah, exactly. So what does, and this is to Quinn, but you can also participate, what does podcasting look like in the next 15 to 20 years? Will it exist in this current form? Will it not exist? Quinn, what do you think?
I think podcasts of the future are going to be more interactive. I think it's going to be a lot easier. Like to have if you're doing a radio show or a TV program, usually the technology is there that, you can have people call in, you can bring in remote guests from all over the world. For people who are doing this on a more limited budget, and technological knowledge, it's a little more difficult. But I think in the future, we're going to have a much more interactive experience. maybe even to the kind of point of view where it's, I don't want to say choose your own adventure, but you shape the podcast.
Oh, wow.
You
Like
know?
that.
And I think that that more immersive experience is going to kind of bridge the gap from audio to video to VR or AR or your holodeck or whatever
You
it
could be
is.
sitting in our podcast virtually.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, you can almost do that now.
Now, right? I was
Yeah.
going to say that even languages. So if we
Yeah,
pull out a
translation.
podcast now and we want global reach, it can be
It's
translated
translated
now.
instantly.
Yeah,
True, true.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
to the broadest audience, and I think that the fine tuning of what you like. You know, your AI agents are going to be like, you're going to love this. I've listened to like 10 episodes because the AI did.
Yeah.
Listen to 10 episodes. It's like start with 3, 7, and this, and then I've got it queued up in the holodeck. Just go check it
Yeah.
out whenever you want. It's
Yeah.
very this, that, in the other. I think that's what we're really looking towards.
And staying authentic, like you said.
Yes,
in between,
absolutely.
like-
Yeah, authenticity I think is going to mean something different at that time. Because we will be in such a more of a virtual immersive space, you know, because
It won't be me sitting there.
no.
It'll be me.
It's a hologram.
In my
She's already
avatar or
decided.
hologram. Right? And we could be doing podcasts from we might be zooming out and into different countries and doing podcasts.
Yeah, I'm joining
Star
you.
Trek.
Star Trek. I was beam me up, Scotty. That's all I could
Joining you
think.
from the top of Big Ben.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
30-second answer. Before we wrap, same question for everyone. One sentence. What do you want someone who's thinking about starting their own podcast to know?
You start.
Oh my goodness, throw me the hard one. I mean, this sounds so cliched, but I think it's just go ahead and do it. I think with so many things in life, you just got to start, and then don't worry about it all being professional, having all the right equipment, and having everything down to a T before you start. I think you've got to try, and then you've got to learn. You guys have shown that through your 2 kind of series that you start, and you might get some things wrong, but you're going to learn along the way. I think don't hold back. What's nice now is that there's the accessibility of it all with equipment and technology that anyone can start. So I say, don't overthink it, just do it.
Naila?
I go back to the whole thing is just do it, right? But at least know what you need to do to get a podcast set up.
Yeah.
So learn from us, learn from others,
Yes.
and get on, then do it.
Yeah.
Try to avoid some of those early mistakes.
Yeah.
By just reading up and learning. I think most importantly is to really focus less on all of this and more on this.
Yeah.
So it's content.
Content.
It's not $2,000 microphone. It's not
Yeah.
lights. It's
Yeah.
content. So
That's great. That
Yep.
takes us to the wrap of this episode. I loved it. Now, Near in the Future. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Follow us at Now Near in the Future on Instagram and LinkedIn, or visit nownearinthefuture.com.
And if this one made you smile, share it with someone who needs a reminder that the messy behind the scenes is usually where the real story lives.
Yes.
And if you've ever thought about starting a podcast, you now have absolutely no excuse.
Exactly. And to Pepper in Singapore,
Or
right
wherever
now,
you are in the world right now.
Wherever you are right now in the world. Hope you're having the most wonderful time. We're not jealous. We handled it without you, but obviously we missed you.
And thank you to Naz, Yannis, and Rachel for joining us, our team.
you.
We couldn't do this without you, and we appreciate you so much.
And thank you to the studio.
Next Media
Studio,
in London.
right? Next Studio. You can find them.
Just
Just Google them. Next
yes.
Studio at Coco Studios in
Yes.
Bermondsey, London. And they are great. They're helpful. You have an engineer on site too. As always, stay curious and keep dreaming.
See you in the future.
Bye.
Bye.
Excellent. I'm headache now. Got a headache.
Naz is like, where's the bar?
I am literally like, where
I
is
am
the
so
bar?
jealous.
Literally.